Hey, you. Are you a guy? If you are, go to Manscaped because today's show is presented by our friends Manscaped. Manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping. Harrison, I know you're a big fan of Manscaped.
Big fan. Maybe I could use some Manscaped up here as well, not just down below. They'll help you out. Manscaped.com/chat. It's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping. You are going to want to take advantage of that deal. Mitch, we got a lot of NFL news, injury news, unfortunately, to get into.
Absolutely, and if y'all are ready for some football, if you could, like the video right now, because I don't know about you, I'm stoked. I'm excited that it's finally here. 2020 has been one hell of a year, so if you could, like the video right now if you're ready for some football, and then after you like it, shout out your favorite team. I see Rohit's going with 49ers. Cowboys has been thrown in there. Bang, bang, Niner gang, and then I see some more Lions and Raiders. Continue to shout out your favorite team, and like the video if you're ready for some football. First player that we're going to dive into here, Mike Evans, and he is questionable with the hamstring injury. We did just get an update about an hour ago that it is a hamstring injury. They before were calling it a soft tissue injury. The reason why this is scary, he finished last year on the IR with the same hamstring injury.
Yeah, and the thing about hamstrings is they kind of just linger.
Yeah.
Unless you literally do nothing and just sit in a chair for 2 weeks, it kind of doesn't go away completely for a while. So
and there's no way you can really heal it besides rest.
Yeah, it's not. He didn't tear it or anything, so it's not like there's a procedure to be done. So this is going to be something to monitor and kind of a tricky situation because obviously big Week 1 game. You got Saints and Bucks. So obviously showcase game for Tom Brady and the new look Buccaneers. But at the same time, if he's like 80%. Is it worth risking him being out a month potentially? This is going to be something to monitor, especially for you fantasy football owners, over the next, I'll say, 48 hours or so, Mitch, as we get closer and closer to Sunday and Week 1. So we'll see. Mike Evans, obviously one of the premier wide receivers in the National Football League. But if there's any question at all, I would not be surprised if he went ahead and sat when you got guys like Chris Godwin. You brought in Rob Gronkowski. I think Tom Brady and the boys will be okay for this first week. I would preach caution here if I was Tampa Bay because hamstring issues, they can linger for a long time.
See, for me, if I'm Mike Evans, I'm saying, okay, I got a tough matchup, Buccaneers against the Saints. Y'all can get your votes in here while I'm discussing my points. But if you're not playing the Saints, maybe it's different. If you're Mike Evans and you're above 80%, I think that you need to play. Why? Yep. This is the team that's been absolutely killing you in the South and probably the best team in the NFC.
You want to prove you're going to make some noise this year.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a premier game, so I'm with you. If there's not risk of major injury, go out there and play. But if he's like 70%, you may want to sit him for this week.
So let us know who you got Week 1, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. Type TB for Buccaneers or type NO for the Saints. No surprise here. I see nothing but NOs. Who are you going with?
I'll go Saints Week 1. I think it could take the Bucs a couple of weeks to, work out some of the kinks with Tom Brady being down there now.
I'm also going to go with the Saints. I'm going to be typing my NO. If y'all are looking to get a perfect package, well, guess what? We're going to hook you up here at Chat Sports. Go to manscaped.com/chat where you can save 20% off and get free shipping. What exactly comes in that perfect package? You get the Lawnmower 3.0. You get ball toner and ball deodorant, so if you sweat down there, you're not going to sweat anymore. The boxers and the bag, which I'm telling you right now, incredible.
I hope Earl Thomas has gone to Manscaped. If you know, you know, because if he didn't, that's big problems. But if he did, he's probably in good shape there. Look, this perfect package, Mitch, the Lawnmower 3.0, best men's grooming tool out there. You use it.
You should use it on your face.
The face, maybe it needs to work it into the rotation, but it comes with all this good stuff. These boxers, it doesn't even feel like you're wearing boxers. And a brand new DOP kit as well. You can put all your stuff in there when you're traveling. It's easy. It's all part of the same deal. Manscaped.com/chat, 20% off and free shipping.
Some bad news here. Danielle Hunter.
Yeah,
Danielle Hunter. He's headed to the IR. So this originally was questionable. They thought maybe he could do it, and unfortunately, he was placed on the IR. He will miss at least 3 weeks. Obviously, with a player of his caliber, he's not going to be easy to replace whatsoever. I believe over 14 sacks the past 2 seasons. So for a Minnesota Vikings team, luckily, they did just go out and get a player in Yannick Ngakoue. But, you're going up against the Green Bay Packers. Not easy to replace.
The good news is you're going to see moves like this more this season because the injured reserve is much more manageable now.
Correct.
Where he could only miss 3 games. and they could call him back. So I mean, it's serious enough where they think he probably would miss 3 games, but it may only be 3 games. So this isn't necessarily an 8-week injury.
From what it sounds like, he tweaked his neck, is from what I'm hearing. And anytime you hear neck, especially back as well,
got to be cautious.
Yeah, you definitely have to be cautious. So here's now the updated depth chart here for the Vikings. Obviously, Hunter's not going to be able to roll in this one. So look for a player. I'm going to do my best, Odin Obo, to take some extra reps there. So look for him to maybe take some extra reps for the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be a tough matchup, though, no matter what, in the NFC North. So who do you got, the Green Bay Packers or the Minnesota Vikings? Throw your votes there in the comments section, GB or MIN.
Minnesota at home in this one? Is that correct?
Yes.
Double check. Minnesota at home, okay. I'll still go the Vikings. I don't like the vibe of the Packers at all. Now, I know there's a quote thrown out today from Aaron Rodgers that him and Matt LaFleur are like hashtag friend goals or whatever he said, but please. I don't care. The Packers are a mess. Give me the Vikings in this one.
I mean, the Packers' offense, I think, is okay. I will say that this is definitely a regression candidate team.
Yes.
And I wish that we would start to disagree a little bit more, because so far we've agreed on all
great
of our
minds. What do you want me to do?
But big play Slay going to go with the Packers. Shelley says the Minnesota Vikings. Nicholas Allen also going to go with the Vikings, but I'm also going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're the more complete team right now, and if you're typing MIN, we agree. Running back update here on Miles Sanders of the Philadelphia Eagles. He did return to practice today. He's been battling with a hamstring injury. Basically, for the last 2 weeks, he has been week to week. Luckily for Philly, he is expected to play. Bad news, though, they don't anticipate him being 100% healthy.
Yeah, he's kind of been just dealing with this for about a month now, and this could be one of those deals where unless he's willing to skip a couple of games, he might just be like 85 to 90% most of the season, which you see players do this all the time. It's obviously not the most ideal, but this will be something to monitor because Philadelphia, Mitch, is expecting, and they're putting a lot on Miles Sanders' plate, especially when you factor in a lot of question marks at receiver. Like, this is a guy that probably is expected to catch, 60 balls this year? Maybe more. Like, I think he's going to be heavily featured, so we'll see if he gets the full, a full snap count that, you would expect normally. Maybe it's like 10% less than a normal load here in week 1, but obviously you got Boston Scott, you got Clement, decent rotation backs, but if he goes down with major injury, that's obviously a big problem for the Eagles.
Absolutely. So who do y'all got in this matchup here, the Eagles or Washington? Type PHI for the Philadelphia Eagles, type WAS for Washington. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, and if any of y'all out there are big-time Eagles fans, go subscribe to our Eagles channel. It's at the link that you see below, youtube.com/Eagles now. If it's easier for y'all, you can also, click that link. It'll be in the comments. So Eagles, Washington, who are you going with?
Philadelphia, even if Sanders is limited.
We got to start disagreeing.
If you want to pick Washington, go for it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you're right. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Eagles over the Redskins, or over Washington. Take a drink. Rashard Lee, Matty Jackson, though, they are going to go with Washington. If y'all are looking for the latest NFL news and rumors, we cover all of that and more. We do live shows for 100% free for the next 365 days. Maybe if you are already subbed, you'll know that last night we did some breaking news on Von Miller potentially being out for the entire season. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you click that big red button and turn on your notifications. So we do have a little bit of an update here and maybe a little bit of a light at the tunnel. Von Miller, according to Ian Rapoport, could actually return. So best case scenario, he would be able to return in 3 months.
Yeah, this just doesn't seem likely. Now,
I agree.
Now, this could be one of those, how about this? We saw this with J.J. Watt last year. Totally different injury, but they kind of left the door cracked if his, rehab went faster than expected, and he returned for the playoffs at 70%. So maybe that could happen here. I don't think it's likely. I think the only way he returns is a couple things. One, his rehab, the surgery goes really well, and the rehab is ahead of schedule. And two, the Broncos are in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
He's not coming back even if he's 100% healthy if the Broncos are 4-8 through 12 weeks.
Absolutely.
That makes no sense. So I think they'll leave the door of a return possible. I would put it at 10%. I don't think it's very high. If Denver's in the mix, if he progresses well, maybe he returns and gives them, a little bit of boost for the playoff stretch. But I'm not thinking it's super likely.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I don't think it's very likely either. The good news here, though, for Vaughn, the original, they were scared it was going to be that Achilles. It wasn't an Achilles tear.
That is important.
So that's very important. And I'll also say this. Anytime you look at NFL players, they are freak athletes. And yes, it is a small chance. But if the Broncos aren't in the playoff hunt, Von Miller won't return. It will be very interesting to see, though, if he does end up playing this year. So give us a Y for yes or an N for no. Will Von Miller play this upcoming season? I'm going to type my N for no, and yes, it's more of a, I don't really believe in the Broncos, and I also don't believe that he's going to be able to come back.